Severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for a large part of 21 country. Everybody in Kosciuszko County, everybody in Wabash County, everybody in Huntington County, everybody in Whitley County, pretty much the western 2/3 of Noble County and parts of LaGrange County and parts of Wells County until 5:30 p.m. So that's the information that you need to know right at this moment. As these thunderstorms move over top of you, make sure to stay inside. They've produced strong wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour in some instances, and we have seen some reports of damage coming in from areas west of Kosciuszko County. So give me just a moment to distribute this link, and I'll be with you. Weather update. Okay. So if you're somebody who's watching this link here in the next couple of minutes on our social media pages on 21Alive or maybe Twitter, please give me a notification that you can hear me, and actually I can test that out on my phone as well. I'm kind of a one-man band here trying to make sure that we get all of this information out as quickly as possible without interrupting the basketball too much, but this is critical information because we have seen reports of strong damaging winds, downed power lines, downed trees in areas west of 21 country as this line has progressed to the east. And there have been a couple of areas of rotation within this line of thunderstorms. So we want to make sure that you're prepared for what's coming. Find my box here. So zooming in a little bit closer, see if we can't find where I'm supposed to be. Here we go. So this is the latest on the severe weather situation. So severe thunderstorm warning, like I said, for everybody in Wabash County, everybody in Huntington County, everybody in Whitley County, the western 2/3 of Noble County. So while that doesn't include Kendallville quite yet, it does include Albion and then up until Ligonier, as well as parts of LaGrange County until 5:30 p.m. If I'm looking off camera left and right, just understand that I'm monitoring different situations here. We've got the National Weather Service. They're providing updates on this screen here while I'm trying to stare down the camera and look at you guys here to provide you with what you need to know. So this line has been fairly strong for the past couple of hours. Just backtracking in time, you can see a lot of red on this map, and realistically it is weakening a little bit, but I don't have any reason to believe that this line is going to weaken significantly as it approaches Allen County. So if you're somebody who's watching from Allen County, just know that here in the next 30 to 45 minutes that this line of thunderstorm is going to be on top of you. I want to switch to velocity now. And velocity gives us an idea of what might be happening with the winds. It doesn't give us an exact idea of what's happening with the winds at the surface because radar measures kind of higher up in the sky. But you can see there are some bright spots amongst this darker green right next to the radar in northern Kosciuszko County, outside of North Webster. You see that bright area of blue there. Radar is estimating 78 mile per hour winds heading towards North Webster. Like I said, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what's happening on the ground, but the closer you get to the radar, the better idea you've got of what's actually happening at ground level because the radar scan is a little bit lower in the sky. When we look along this line here, there's a couple of bright spots, one near Pierceton in Kosciuszko County. I did see a bright green blip in southeastern Whitley County, just to the east of Laud. And it's hard to tell exactly how fast this wind might be going at the surface, but radar's estimating 47 miles per hour with this wind. So there's some pockets of wind with this line of thunderstorms that are very strong. And we've also seen some areas of rotation that we want to pay attention to as well. This was a little bit earlier when there was a tornado warning just off to our west. There's these kinks in the line of thunderstorms that we want to pay attention to. One of them is right here, just to the west of New Paris. When you get these kinks in these types of lines of thunderstorms, that's an area that could try to rotate. Doesn't necessarily mean that it is rotating, but it means that it's trying to rotate. And these lines are fairly notorious when we've got the ingredients for rotation to spin something up right on the leading edge. Other than that, I'm not seeing a whole lot that concerns me at the moment with this line of thunderstorms, except for the fact that we know that we're seeing gusty winds with it. I want to check the airport reports real quick just to see if we're able to pick anything up from the Aviation Weather Center. So we're not able to see anything exactly happening at the airports right now, but that doesn't mean that it's not happening, right? South Bend, I see right now, has a wind gust of 58 miles per hour. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show that on the map here. So we know strong winds are happening. This line of thunderstorms is progressing to the east, moving fairly quickly. Let's get a speed on it and we can time this line out here. Moving at about 65 miles per hour to the east, this entire line. So we're going to time out this entire line of storms from north to south, because pretty much everybody is going to be impacted by it one way or the other over the next several minutes. I can actually hear the rain starting here at the station in western Allen County. So over the next hour, and we're going to fix that, 65 miles per hour. Over the next hour or so, this is where this line is expected to be. From north to south, and we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. So Huntington, 456. So these storms are probably right on top of you, Huntington. So you want to make sure to stay inside. I would suggest maybe stay away from windows, but right now this doesn't look like it's a situation that you need to go to your safe spot. Yes, very strong winds. I don't want to mistake that. But it doesn't look like right now there's any reason to need to go to your safe spot. I will say, like I said earlier, there's some areas that will try to rotate within this line that we definitely want to pay attention to. Fort Wayne, if you're watching from the Summit City, about 5:09 is when these storms are going to be here. I'd estimate really about 5:05. So you've got about 5 to 7 minutes before these thunderstorms are on top of you. Decatur at about 5:27, Van Wert about 5:45, so in between that 5:30 and 6 o'clock time frame, like I had mentioned yesterday and then this morning, and then in Defiance, 5:36. In the latest warning that the National Weather Service posted, they do mention tornado possible. So what that means is that, hey, there's an area of rotation that we're seeing that we might want to just watch out for, because we can't quite tell if something is happening, but we do know that strong gusty winds definitely happening right now. So trying to zoom in here, turn off the lightning. Lightning's always a distraction. You can see there's several pockets of intense thunderstorm action happening. One in northeastern Wabash County, just to the south of North Manchester, and then into Whitley County as well. That's those areas of white on the radar that we're seeing. Those are areas where the most intense activity is happening right now, that at least radar is able to pick up on. And we look at this line from north to south, there's several smaller spots of white. One in northern Kosciuszko County, and then one in Elkhart County as well. I'm just looking at velocity here to see if I can pick anything up along this leading edge that might be rotating. This is now south of 21 Country as we're moving north, kind of along I-69. Looking into Wabash County, I can't really see much. This might be a broad area of rotation here, just south of South Whitley. That doesn't mean that a tornado is on the ground happening right now, but when you've got green next to a color that is supposed to be red, but it's very dark red, it's very muted red, that could indicate that we've got some broad rotation in the atmosphere. Reports of small hail out of Crystal Lake in Kosciuszko County. That's something that we're seeing right now. That's one of those areas of white that I pointed out on the map a little bit ago. I want to move north on the velocity just to see if there's anything concerning along this line. So this area might be a little concerning now. This is in far northwestern Whitley County. So this is County Road West 750 North in Kosciuszko County. You see that bright green next to that area of red in northern Whitley County, excuse me. That's an area that I'd be a little bit more concerned with. So if you're somebody who lives in that area, you definitely want to pay attention over the next couple of minutes. We're starting to see those greens get a little bit brighter and those reds get a little bit brighter, and they're right next to each other. So that's a sign that there might be some rotation happening. So if you live in far northwestern Whitley County, this is something to pay attention to. Flip radar back on. Yeah, and we're starting to see like a little bit of a kink in the line there. What does that mean? That means the wind is starting to push a little bit more in this area, but we've got some rotation happening into here. So that line is starting to kink a little bit, and then it's starting to spin up. So that's something that we want to watch. Far northwestern Whitley County. The National Weather Service has not issued a tornado warning for that area, but that's an area that we want to watch just in case, because it does appear as if right now in the latest radar data that there is some rotation happening. Looking elsewhere outside of the thunderstorm warning, we're seeing some rain showers and thunderstorms starting to form along I-69 ahead of the cold front. So these are areas that we want to pay attention to as well, because they're starting to gain some strength. There's that area of white again that's popping up just to the west of Fort Wayne. So this would be like the Coventry area in southwest Fort Wayne, western Allen County. This is along what looks to be 14, pretty close to it. I just want to see if there's any rotation with this storm. Not that we can tell. So that's good news. Storms are right now behaving themselves. Looking elsewhere, getting ready to move into Ligonier. There's a very bright area of red on velocity. That radar is estimating winds of about 68 to probably 70 miles per hour. These are estimated wind speeds. Once again, not necessarily what's happening on the ground right now, but it gives us a good idea of where the stronger parts of the thunderstorms are. So once again, we're going to zoom out. We're going to take a big picture look. Severe thunderstorm warning for a large part of 21 Country. That includes everybody in Wabash County, everybody in Huntington County, everybody in Whitley County, everybody in Kosciuszko County, which Kosciuszko County is just about done with these thunderstorms. Now there's a new severe thunderstorm warning that just popped up. So the first thunderstorm warning is going to go until 5:30 p.m. It's that darker area of orange, because this is an area where thunderstorms look to be a little bit stronger, potentially producing stronger wind gusts. Upwards of 70 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. Now there's a severe thunderstorm warning that extends through Grant County into Blackford County and parts of southern Wells County. That goes until 5:45 p.m. And you might see that yellow box behind us as well. That yellow box, if I can find the map here, is a tornado watch for everybody in 21 country in Indiana. So this tornado watch does not include Ohio counties right now, but everybody in Indiana, in Northeast Indiana specifically, is under a tornado watch until 8 p.m. That's as this line progresses off to the east. There's the ingredients that exist that could produce thunderstorms that have some rotation with them. But right now, that's not exactly happening. It's just a heads up that, hey, it might happen. Once that warning is issued, that's when you want to take action. So a couple of pieces of information that you should know as these thunderstorms are rolling in. If you don't already have it, download the 21Alive First Alert weather app. You can actually watch this live stream in the weather app. So that's another way that you can catch us. That's also a way to receive alerts. You got to make sure the sound is on your phone, but that's a good way to receive alerts. Weather radios are a good way to receive alerts as well. Social media, unless it is a live stream like what's happening right now, not the best way to receive the latest information, the quickest information. So just want you to be prepared. And I'm just looking through our Facebook pages right now, see if any viewers are reporting anything. I'm not seeing anything quite yet in terms of reports of severe weather or damage in 21 country. There are several reports coming out of, for the most part, Kosciuszko County and places to the west, that's producing some damage, downed trees, downed power lines, and that's definitely possible with this line. So we've been talking about it. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible. Now, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for another large part of 21 country. Ryan, if you are in the back, yeah, so let's go ahead. Where's the basketball game at? Fourth quarter. 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Okay, so I'd like to do a quick cut-in. So for those of you watching on social media, I'm going to do a quick cut-in on programming, which you should see. You should be able to see this as well, because I want to alert people who maybe aren't on social media right now, but maybe paying attention to the television, that a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Allen County. So this is all of Allen County. This is for DeKalb County and Steuben County. That goes until 6 p.m. So Ryan, once I step in front of the green screen, let's go ahead and roll. So those of you still watching the live stream, this is me setting up, so thank you for your patience. Good afternoon, First Alert Meteorologist Saylor here with another weather update. Another severe thunderstorm warning until 6 p.m. has been issued for all of Allen County, everybody in DeKalb County, and pretty much everybody in Steuben County, as well as northern Wells County and northern Adams County until 6 p.m. You can see this strong line of thunderstorms moving through Wabash County, moving into Whitley County right now, as well as Huntington County. These thunderstorms have produced wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour, and it's causing some damage, especially out to the west of 21 country, Kosciuszko County, even further off to the west than that. So we want you to be prepared right now. Everybody in Allen County, everybody in DeKalb County, Steuben County, and now there's a tornado warning. So this tornado warning just popped up. So we're going to go ahead and stay on air until this tornado warning expires. If you give me just a moment, I need to step off screen to check some information about this tornado warning. So if you're seeing that screen, the live stream starting soon, that's because I'm also live on 21alivenews.com. So this tornado warning is radar indicated. So I want to emphasize that. It's this area in red that's radar indicated that goes until 5:30 p.m. We can zoom in on it here and see this area just a little bit better. And I want to move it out of the way so we can just see a little bit better here. Oh, come on, tools. Let's go ahead and draw that there. We're going to step off camera, try to reset. Tools not wanting to cooperate today. That's okay. We'll get it working for you. So this is that tornado warning once again until 5:30 p.m. So Ryan, go ahead and put me up on the double box if you don't mind. So that tornado warning, once again, for Noble County, Steuben County, parts of DeKalb County, going until 5:30 p.m. So if you are in the path of this storm, and we were just talking about this storm on our live feed coming out of northwestern Whitley County, over the next several minutes, this is when we can expect it. So Albion, this thunderstorm is pretty much right on top of you, so you need to seek shelter now. Once again, this is a radar indicated tornado warning, but you need to seek shelter. Kendallville at about 5:19, Milford 5:25, Crooked Lake about 5:36, and Angola 5:37. Popping on the velocity here, we'll be able to see that area of rotation, and it's kind of hard to see, but we can just make it out. It's right here in Noble County. Zooming in, that bright area of red that we're watching, it's just to the south and southwest of Albion. So along State Road 9 and a little bit to the west, this is just to, like I said, the southwest of downtown Albion. West River Road and County Road North 50 West is the area that we're seeing this rotation. It's that bright area of red right now. And I'm just looking along that line to see if there's anything else. So estimated wind speeds right now, according to radar, are about 70 to 80 miles per hour. Once again, radar scans high up in the sky. We can't know exactly what's going on the ground, and we don't need you to tell us what's happening on the ground right now. But radar is able to tell us, hey, winds are estimated at around 80 to 90 miles per hour in this area that's the National Weather Service is seeing some rotation. So once again, if you live within the path of this severe thunderstorm and this tornado warning, you need to seek shelter now. Zooming back out and timing it out once again of its arrival time. Over the next 30 minutes, Kendallville, 5:16. So I'd estimate you've got about 3 minutes, Kendallville, before you need to get to your safe spot. Once again, this is a radar indicated tornado warning. That means that the National Weather Service doesn't have eyes on what's happening on the ground right now. So something could be happening. They just don't know yet. So Kendallville, 5:16 is about the approximate arrival time of this thunderstorm. So you need to get in your safe spot now. Milford, same case. 5:21 or so is the arrival of that storm. Ashley, 5:29. Angola, 5:34. Fremont, 5:39. So while Angola is in that tornado warning, Fremont right now is not in that tornado warning. So Fremont, you need to keep some eyes on this. Angola, you've got a couple of minutes to try to get to your safe spot, to get to where you need to be safely. And if you don't know where your safe spot is, I try to provide this information as best as I can. So if you live in a traditional sturdy built home, if you have a basement, that's the best place to be. Lowest floor, most interior room. If you don't have a basement, hallway, bathroom, under the stairs, an interior closet. Places without windows are a good place to be. if you live in an apartment, you want to try to get to the lowest floor. Go to the lowest floor if you can. And once again, the most interior part of the structure. So that might be between some walls or under a stairwell or something like that. And it's a good idea to protect your head. If you've got a helmet and you live in this tornado warning and you need to seek shelter and you live in an apartment, that's something that's a good idea. Now, those of you living in mobile homes, now's your time to move to your sturdy shelter. Mobile homes are not safe to be in during severe weather. So now's the time. If you've got a couple of minutes, you need to go to your well-built shelter, friend's house, nearby business, a storm shelter possibly. You want to make sure to get to your safe space now. So resetting here, for those of you who do not need this weather information, thank you very much for your patience. I know that we're interrupting something that you want to watch. Unfortunately, we don't have the technology to only geolocate some of these warnings into specific households. So unfortunately, everybody has to receive this information, even though only a few of you might need it. So a tornado warning goes until 5:30 p.m. That's for parts of Noble County, DeKalb County, and Steuben County. It's this area in red. This is where that thunderstorm is located, just getting ready to move into Kendallville. So if you are watching from Kendallville, you need to go ahead and head to your safe spot. As of right now, the National Weather Service is saying this is a radar indicated tornado warning, meaning they haven't seen anything happen quite yet. But Kendallville, you need to go ahead and get to your safe spot now just to be safe. And over the next 30 minutes, this is where that thunderstorm is expected to be. Corunna, 522, Angola at about 531, Fremont, 536. No telling right now whether that tornado warning is going to be extended beyond Angola. So somebody who lives in Fremont right now, if that's where you're watching from, just keep your eyes on this thunderstorm. Stay tuned to 21Alive. That way you can have the latest weather updates. There's also a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for everybody in Allen County, everybody in DeKalb County, Whitley County, the northern two-thirds of Adams County, and I'd say the northern two-thirds of Wells County as well. That goes until 6 o'clock. Even outside of the thunderstorm that is producing some rotation, wind gusts have been estimated to be as high as 70 miles per hour. And the National Weather Service has seen reports of damage to the west, I'd say, of Whitley County this afternoon as this line has progressed eastward. I will say as well, looking back off to the west, Kosciuszko County, it looks like now you're in the clear. I'd say pretty much Wabash County as well. You're pretty much done with the severe thunderstorms for now. I don't expect anything else to spring up, but we're going to be paying attention to that. This line is just getting ready to move into Allen County. And we put on the velocity here, and I'm going to zoom in to get rid of that tornado warning that we don't need because that's outside of our viewing area. Looking at velocity, we can see these areas of rotation. So there's that very bright area of red moving into Kendallville as we speak. That is estimated wind gusts as high as 70 miles per hour. And in these areas as well, we're starting to see some kinks in that line. So that's those kinks I'm talking about, those areas of rotation. And we can see an area of rotation popping up on our shear. So this is a product that gives us an idea of where rotation might be happening. So there's an area of rotation that we want to watch as well. Just to the northwest of Churubusco, that's that area in blue. It's a relatively low area of rotation, but it's something that warrants watching. I want to switch on the debris signature here, and it's going to be very hard to tell, but this gives us an idea of what might be happening, whether anything touched down, if a tornado touched down, did it blow up any debris into the atmosphere? And what we would look for typically is an area of blue within this, essentially this sea of red. And in the Grange County, maybe, but for For Noble County right now, it's hard to tell because it's all happening on that leading edge. So what this product tells us is, hey, the thing that's scanned by the radar next to this other thing is the same. And when those two things are next to each other are the same, it's red. But when you've got debris or something different than rain or hail, then it starts to turn yellow, then it starts to turn blue. So there is another tornado warning now, and that's that one area I just mentioned that has some rotation on it. Goes until 5:45 p.m. This is for DeKalb County and Noble County. So Auburn, in the next couple of minutes, this thunderstorm is going to be on top of you. Butler, same case as well. So timing out the arrival of this thunderstorm within this new tornado warning. So Avila, about 5:19, so you've got about 30 seconds before you need to get to your safe spot. Auburn, 5:29. Grant, 5:31. Butler, 5:39. So places a little bit further away from Avila, a little bit further to the west, you've got a couple of minutes. Go ahead and head down to your safe spot. The lowest floor, the most interior room of your home. Once again, I believe this is a radar-indicated tornado warning. Yes, so the National Weather Service is saying, hey, we're seeing some rotation, and I did just show that area of rotation, and I'll show it again. That could be producing a tornado. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right within here. There's an area of bright red next to an area that's not so bright red. And the reason why we're not seeing any green in this spot is because these thunderstorms are moving so quickly. They're moving 65, 70, 75 miles per hour in some spots. So radar is saying everything's moving so fast, but this is an area where there might be some rotation. So south Old State Road and then south of Baseline Road in Noble County. So this intersection at around East Baseline Road and South State Road 3 is where that rotation is. So getting ready to head into Kaiser here in just a moment. So if you live in Kaiser, if you live near Altona, Cedar, if you live along 327, if you live along Indiana 327, you want to go ahead and seek shelter now. This area of rotation is just getting ready to move over top of you here in just a few moments. I want to zoom out and see what else we can see. There's a bright area on velocity in northern Allen County as well, which is not an area under a tornado warning. That's an area that is under a severe thunderstorm warning for the potential for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So those two tornado warnings, the other one just passing through Kendallville, this bright area of pink and almost white, just a little bit to the north of US 6. That's an area of rotation that we're watching as well. Looking at the debris tracker, trying to get an idea of if there's anything on the ground, because we can't quite tell. We don't have any confirmed reports out of Noble County whether anything severe is happening. It is possible right within that bright white area south of Avila. That's a radar signature that might lead us to believe that a tornado touched down, but we do not have confirmation of that happening. That has not come from the National Weather Service, but that's an area where we might be watching, and that's an area where we're seeing that tornado warning just to the south of Avila. That goes until 5:45 p.m. So further to the south, just into Grant County, so parts of southern Wells County and then into Grant County as well, there's a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:30 p.m. That is for radar estimated winds at around 60 miles per hour. So if you're just now joining us, there's 2 tornado warnings for parts of 21 country. That includes parts of Noble County, parts of Steuben County, and then a good portion of DeKalb County. The tornado warning that's a little bit further to the north, that includes Steuben County, goes until 5:30, so about 10 minutes until that's expired. And I believe the National Weather Service is going to let that tornado warning expire. So this one here, in the next couple of minutes, that includes Kendallville and includes Angola. I believe the National Weather Service is going to let that expire, but there's still a tornado warning in effect for parts of DeKalb County until 5:45 p.m. I mentioned this yesterday, that when this line moves through, there's some areas of rotation that we want to watch, and that's what's been happening. We're seeing some areas of rotation within this line. It's these bright areas of red right along the leading edge of these thunderstorms. So just to the east of Swan, getting ready to track into Auburn, and then to the north of Kendallville, it looks like south of Milford. So timing this line of thunderstorms out, once again, these areas within the tornado warning, this line is moving pretty quickly at about 65 miles per hour. So Kaiser, 524. So that's right now. If you live in Kaiser, you need to get to your safe spot right now. Lowest floor, most interior room of your home. Auburn, 528. So you've got maybe a minute or two before you need to get to your safe spot. Moore, 533. Butler, 538. Edgerton, Ohio, 544. Edgerton, Ohio is not included in the tornado warning, and they're not even included in the tornado watch. I want to track north just a little bit, because if this tornado warning continues into Steuben County, I want to time it out and make sure everybody's prepared. Flint, 528. Angola, 534. Fremont, 539. Fremont is not included in this tornado warning, but this thunderstorm is getting ready to track over top of you. So returning to the big picture now, there is 2 tornado warnings, one for DeKalb County and another one into Steuben County. The Steuben County tornado warning goes until about 5:30. The 5:45 that you're seeing on the left of your screen, that's into Michigan. And then the tornado warning for DeKalb County goes until 5:45 p.m. There's also a severe thunderstorm warning for Allen County, parts of Wells County, and Adams County, including Huntington County, that goes until 6 p.m. There's also a new watch that's been issued as well. A severe thunderstorm watch is in place for Paulding and Van Wert counties in Ohio, as well as Defiance and Williams County. That's this area in pink. That's going to go, according to the National Weather Service, until 10 p.m. tonight. So a severe thunderstorm watch is in place for parts of Ohio, Northwest Ohio specifically, Williams, Defiance, Paulding, Van Wert, until 10 p.m. tonight. Switching back to radar now, and we can actually hear the winds picking up, can't we, Kara? We can hear the winds picking up here in Fort Wayne. Just to the west of Fort Wayne is where 21Alive is located. And we can hear those winds picking up, putting on velocity. Yeah, there's a lot of areas of bright pink, especially to the north of Fort Wayne. So Auburn, as that thunderstorm moves towards you, that is tornado warned, you need to get to your safe spot now. Ashley, you've got a couple of minutes as well. Steuben, Angola, you've got a couple of minutes to get to your safe spot, but go ahead and start to head there now. We can see these wind gusts estimated by radar as high as 80 miles per hour in some locations. We are starting to get some reports of damage from areas in Kosciuszko in Whitley County from the National Weather Service. So there are some reports that are popping up right now, and we'll see if the National Weather Service has published them yet. So We can see a couple of damage reports coming out of Whitley County. Provide more information. Out in South Whitley, a downed tree in South Whitley being reported. That's this one here. And then in Columbia City, reports of trees and power lines down across Whitley County. So that's the emergency management likely issuing that statement. So these thunderstorms do have a history of producing strong, damaging winds and some damage across 21 country. These thunderstorms are progressing pretty quickly at about 65 miles per hour. The northern edge of these thunderstorms are moving quicker than the southern part of the line of storms. And you can see there's several watches and several warnings. So we want to make sure that you're prepared for what's to come over the next couple of hours. So if you don't need this weather information, once again, thank you for your patience. We know that there's programming that you want to watch. Unfortunately, we don't have the technology. It doesn't even exist for us to be able to send the signal into some homes that need the messaging, but not send it to other homes that don't need the messaging. That's just the downfall of the technology that we have right now. So I'm just looking at my other screen here, seeing if there's any more information coming in from the National Weather Service. Multiple reports of damage coming out of Kosciuszko County, and we still have those 2 tornado warnings in place. The one for Steuben County and Noble County goes until 5:30. I believe that's going to be allowed to expire. And there it went, just expired. So there's only one more tornado warning that goes until 5:45 p.m. That's for DeKalb County. I want to track this line of storms through DeKalb County over the next 20 minutes or so. This is where it's expected to be. Grant at 5:31. So it is 5:30 right now. So you need to go ahead and head to your safe spot right now. Auburn, same case. Go ahead and head to your safe spot right now. Lowest floor, most interior room of your home. Butler at about 5:39. St. Joseph, 5:46. And Blakesley, which is in Ohio and not included in the tornado warning, this thunderstorm is expected to arrive at around 5:47. So you want to take a couple of minutes before that time to get to your safe spot. I want to put on the velocity here. I'm just making sure the National Weather Service hasn't seen anything. So yeah, so this is still radar indicated. So they have no indications right now outside of some areas of rotation on radar that a tornado has happened on the ground. But the radar is the best tool to try to pick up some of that information. There's an area right within here that we could see some rotation happening. There's a bright area of red next to an area that is not so red, a pretty dull area, a little bit to the north of Auburn. So that's an area of rotation that we're watching. In terms of our debris tracker, it's hard to tell because this is on the leading edge. I don't see any reason to believe why debris might have been lofted in the air according to the radar imagery that I'm seeing. But if we put on our shear track, and we can't even see the rotation anymore on our shear tracker. So shear means rotation. So looks like we're seeing some storms starting to weaken. So I'm going to go ahead and go live on Facebook as well. And Kara, if you don't mind telling Alex just to make sure that all the titles and all the information on our Facebook live stream is correct. Thank you very much. So once again, so Noble County, you are no longer under a tornado warning. So if you're watching from Kendallville, if you're watching from Albion, you're in the clear right now. But if you're watching from DeKalb County, you're still under a tornado warning that goes until 5:45 p.m. If you give me just a moment, I'm noticing that our time is not updating correctly, and I'm not sure why. Let's go ahead and fix that. Okay, so we've got the current time there. Some reports are coming in of damage in LaGrange County, in LaPorte County, and that's to the west of us, as well as Kosciuszko County and Whitley County. There's also severe thunderstorm warning in Allen County, and this is for everybody in Allen County, parts of Wells County and Adams County. That goes until 6 p.m. tonight, and then southern Wells County, and then parts of Jay County under a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45 p.m. This edge of the storm is moving just a little bit slower than the rest of the storm. So over the next 45 minutes, in Portland, you can expect this thunderstorm to arrive by about 6 o'clock or so, give or take a couple of minutes. So I'm just looking to see if there's any new information. Like I said, I've got the National Weather Service here on this computer to try to gather information as quickly as possible and get it out to you. And I don't see anything new coming in quite yet. I'm sure that information is going to trickle in over the next couple of hours. So we're going to stay on the air until this tornado warning in DeKalb County expires. We have not received any reports of any touchdowns in DeKalb County. So this is a radar indicated tornado warning that goes until 5:45 p.m. There's also that severe thunderstorm warning in Allen County, DeKalb County, Wells County, Adams County. That goes until 6 p.m. Winds within that severe thunderstorm warning estimated to be 70 miles per hour. Now we can see there is a large severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for all of Paulding County, all of Defiance County. And that's going to go until, trying to find that information here. Until 6:30. So that severe thunderstorm warning is going to go till 6:30. There's also a new tornado warning that I want to get eyes on. So zooming in. So this is for Steuben County. So like I said, Angola, even though that tornado warning expired, has popped right back up. There's an area of rotation that the National Weather Service is seeing with that tornado warning. It's a radar indicated tornado warning, so they do not have eyes on exactly what's happening right now. But you need to get to your safe spot now because the storm's moving in quickly. Angola, this storm is right on top of you. So if you're watching from Angola, go ahead and get to your safe spot right now. The lowest floor, the most interior room of your home. Fremont, I mentioned earlier that you were not in a tornado warning. That's because that was the old tornado warning. The new one that has popped up, you are within that tornado warning. So Fremont, 5:39 p.m. is when that thunderstorm is expected to be on top of you. As far as I can tell, I am live. Thank you, Kara. So looking at velocity here. Yeah, so we can see that area that they're talking about within that severe thunderstorm warning. There's that area of bright pink next to that area of kind of darker red. This is over Old Highway 27, just to the south of downtown Angola. So if you live along US 20 to the east of Angola, you need to get to your safe spot now. And I'm just looking at the track of this storm. So it looks like this area of rotation is more or less headed to the northeast across US 20. So over the next couple of minutes, that's where that storm's going to head. So Angola, you're just to the south of this rotation, it appears, but you still need to be in your safe spot. If you live near the intersection of State Road 1 and US 20 in Steuben County, you need to go and get into your safe spot right now. And there's a bright area of rotation in far eastern DeKalb County along US 6. to the northeast of Moore. So County Road 55 and US 6, that's where that area of rotation is. County Road 57, and this thunderstorm is tracking to the northeast as well. So if you live in Butler, get to your safe spot right now, because this area of rotation is getting ready to track, it looks like, pretty close, if not right on top of you. It's this area right here that we're seeing, just to the west of Butler. So if you live in Butler, you need to go ahead and get to your safe spot now. I would not be surprised if the National Weather Service extends this tornado warning into Ohio, which then it would be out of our area. Looking at the severe thunderstorm warning, this leading edge, there's not a lot of areas that concern me at the moment. There are some bright reds now in eastern Allen County. In Grable, these bright pinks indicate potentially some stronger wind. So if you live within this severe thunderstorm warning, just go ahead and stay inside your house. We don't need photos. We don't need videos of anything that's happening outside right now. We only want that if and when it's safe. So just stay inside if you're in a severe thunderstorm warning as these thunderstorms pass over you. If you're in a tornado warning, you need to go ahead and get to your safe spot right now. There's 2 tornado warnings that are in effect that go until 5:45 and 6 p.m. That's for DeKalb County, and that's for Steuben County. So if you live in Auburn, if you live in Butler, if you live in eastern DeKalb County, and if you live in Angola, if you live in Fremont, you need to be at your safe spot right now. The tornado watch is starting to be trimmed back. You can see that more and more counties west of Kosciuszko County, that tornado warning, or tornado watch, is starting to drop. That means the severe threat is diminishing off to the west of Fort Wayne. That's good news. But there's still a tornado watch in effect for Allen County until 8 p.m. There's also a severe thunderstorm watch, that's the area in pink, that goes until 10 p.m. tonight. That's for everybody in Paulding County, everybody in Van Wert County, Mercer County as well as Defiance and Williams County, Ohio. So once again, 2 tornado warnings and quite a few severe thunderstorm warnings that we're tracking if you're just now joining us. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for Allen County that goes until 6 o'clock. There's a tornado warning that goes until 5:45 p.m. for parts of DeKalb County. That includes Auburn, and that includes Butler. There's also a tornado warning for parts of Steuben County that goes until 6 p.m. I want to start with the tornado warning in DeKalb County, and this line is moving pretty quickly. So Butler, you need to, if you're watching from Butler, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Arctic 544, St. Joseph in Ohio and Melbourne. Once we get into Ohio, those are areas outside of our viewing area, but about 5:45 p.m. So if you live in Ohio, if you live in Williams or Defiance County, you've got about 5 minutes before this thunderstorm moves over top of you. However, it is not warned into Ohio. So I want to emphasize that. This thunderstorm is not tornado warned into Ohio right now. But that's where this thunderstorm is tracking. And now into Steuben County. Just to the east of Angola. This one goes until 6 p.m. And over the next 15 to 20 minutes, this thunderstorm is going to start to move into Michigan. So if you live in northeastern Steuben County, you need to go ahead and get to your safe spot now. Excuse me. Lowest floor, most interior room of your home. It does look like the National Weather Service is going to allow the tornado warning for DeKalb County to expire. I want to take one final look at the velocity here to see where our trouble spots might be. So just north of Berlin, there's an area that could possibly be rotating. Right now, these are radar indicated tornado warnings, meaning the National Weather Service does not have eyes on what's happening. There might be something happening on the ground right now, but it means the National Weather Service does not have eyes on it. And going to the south now, yeah, I'm not seeing an area of rotation anymore in eastern DeKalb County. So that's probably why the National Weather Service is going to allow that tornado warning to expire. But still, this thunderstorm is quite strong. So if you live in far eastern DeKalb County on the Indiana-Ohio border, just pay attention to this thunderstorm as it moves over top of you. But I do believe the threat is starting to diminish for DeKalb County. So Allen County, you're still under that severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 6 p.m. This line is moving off to the east really quickly. So if you're watching from Monroeville, if you're watching from Hoagland, Woodburn, you're probably hearing that thunderstorm right now. Hoagland, Monroeville, far southeastern Allen County, those thunderstorms not on top of you quite yet. If you're in a severe thunderstorm warning, just stay inside your house. You don't need to go to your safe spot right yet. There's no tornado warnings that have been issued. And we are seeing the bottom, I'd say third of this line of thunderstorms weaken just a little bit. That's why these two areas are different colors, even though they're both severe thunderstorm warnings. This area in Adams County, that's under a severe thunderstorm warning, wind gusts possibly up to 70 miles per hour. And actually, the National Weather Service has just expired that severe thunderstorm warning that included southern Wells and parts of Jay County. So it looks like we are seeing some weakening, which is good. So only one tornado warning left. This is for far northeastern Steuben County. So US 120, just to the south of Clear Lake. That thunderstorm is heading right over you within the next couple of minutes. So go ahead and get to your safe spot now. If you live in Clear Lake, if you live along North Old State Road 1 to the east of Page, it's this area right within here that we're watching for some rotation. So far northeastern Steuben County, you are under a tornado warning that goes until 6 p.m. This is a radar indicated tornado warning, so that means the National Weather Service has not received any reports of what's happening right now. But radar is saying there's some rotation in there that we want to pay attention to. So that's why they've issued that tornado warning. And I'm not seeing any reports quite yet out of those areas that have been in tornado warnings from the National Weather Service. But I want to time this out for you one more time because this thunderstorm is just getting ready to exit the area. So into southwest Michigan over the next couple of minutes. So if you live within the severe thunderstorm warning, stay inside. If you live in the tornado warning, lowest floor, most interior room of your home. I want to take one final look, and then I want to send it back to programming. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for Allen County, Paulding County, Defiance County in Ohio. That goes until 6:30 p.m. Into Adams County as well until 6 p.m. So the worst of it is over for Fort Wayne, I'd say. That line has moved past. Bluffton, this line of strong thunderstorms is right on top of you. Decatur, you've got approximately 5 to 10 minutes before these thunderstorms move in, and they're tracking off to the northeast. So over the next 30 minutes, Decatur at about 5:53 is when these thunderstorms are expected to arrive. Bern at approximately 5:59 p.m. And there is still that tornado warning for northern Steuben County that goes until 6 o'clock. And that thunderstorm is just moving out of Steuben County. So we are going to have the latest weather updates on 21Alive News here in just a couple of moments. Once again, I want to thank you for your patience. I know not everybody needed the severe weather information, but we just don't have the technology to beam into some homes and not others. So we have to, unfortunately, interrupt programming in situations like this. And thank you for joining us on our live stream as well. I know there's been some difficulties on social media, but thank you for joining us on 21alivenews.com. Like I said, I'll be providing updates on 21 Alive News at 6 and on 21 Alive News at 11, as long as our website, 21alivenews.com. But I'm going to send it back to regularly scheduled programming.